it is dark outside. Time for Crypto After Dark. Thanks everybody for joining another episode of Crypto After Dark. Brought to you by Constant Collab. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure to check out our Telegram and our Twitter and our Instagram in the comments or in the YouTube description. So thank you all once again for joining tonight. I know a lot of you have probably been watching the market pretty closely, or maybe not, from this past weekend as everything took a big tumble. So we'll talk about the tumble and what that really means, or at least what I think it means. Obviously, it could go one of two ways, so certainly something to keep in mind going forward. We're going to talk about Terra Luna, which is a US dollar or a stable coin based project that is now in the top 10. So that's been making some interesting headway. So I'd like to talk about Terra Luna for a little bit, and then we'll talk about a couple other fun things that are happening just across the market, and just see what else is going on as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and check some stuff out. Here's my awesome track here. So we are at trending. We are at 2.3 trillion market cap. Volume's been down. BTC dominance is down. A lot of people are talking about Ethereum right now. So I think Ethereum is poised to make a run. I know Raoul Paul, a former Goldman Sachs executive, was suggesting that Ethereum is going to go up a lot more as well. And so definitely keep an eye on Ethereum going forward. Some funny trending ones today: Porn Rocket, Shibilon, and One NFT. Those are always fun. But yeah, here's Terra Luna at number 10 here. So we'll be talking about Terra Luna a little bit tonight. XRP still in 8th here. You can see the prices have not done well over 7 days. Bitcoin is down 12%. XRP down almost 20%. What else do we have here? Chainlink, Tron, Bitcoin Dash all down. VeChain took a big hit. VeChain used to be in the top 20. Now it's in top 30. So yeah, a lot of movement over the weekend, right? And we'll talk about maybe some of the headlines that could have caused that as well later on in the show. But you know, I think in general, market manipulation is bound to happen. There's been a lot of dips like this that happen during, bear markets and bull markets alike. But I think in the last bull run, Bitcoin dropped 30%, like 6 or 7 times. And so that's something to keep in mind. And this volatility is to be expected. I think it's okay to take profits as it goes up, knowing you could get it lower. None of this is financial advice, obviously, but if you're a long-term investor, make sure you're investing in good projects, and there's probably not going to be anything to worry about. Those are it just depends on what your time frame is and what you're looking at there, right? So today we'll be talking about Terra Luna. Here's the UST, or the Terra dollars here. So that's those are sort of seeing some volatility here, some big gains up here at 105, but this is just a stable coin. And then its native asset Luna is where a lot of the dividends and some of the benefits go, and Luna has done extremely well. If you would have just got this for 29 cents, it's now at $68. It's unbelievable. So an unbelievable run for Luna. We'll talk about that in a moment here. Let's talk about Bitcoin. So here's one of my Bitcoin charts that is a little bit more colorful, but these levels are sort of different zones that have traded, supply and demand characteristics throughout the ages down here. And so the top of this box is sort of representing the resistance formed by all these wicks that supported throughout the first run of the year, and then the summer sort of resistance that was formed here. This is a weekly chart here. So last week we had a really significant drop. We came all the way down here, I think, to like 42,000, 41,000. And there's a lot of speculation that could continue, right? Will we come back down here? Is the bull market over? I have no idea. I have no idea. I think I've seen a lot of good testament going both ways. I think in general, price action is certainly king. There's been a lot of things though in the recent, a lot of headlines and a lot of things recently that would suggest the timing is off, but that's sort of how things kind of sneak up on you sometimes. So with that being said, be mindful of that, and don't be afraid to take profit and do what you need to do. Again, none of this is advice. I'm going to focus more on the partnerships and what the assets do. That's my favorite part. Would I like Bitcoin to hold this trend and go up? Sure. I don't think anybody really bets on bear markets, unless you're really just like a perma bear and you're angry. But there are two scenarios here: are we fail to get above either this level or this level and come back down, or we keep going up and we can get to these, closer to these 100k targets, maybe wick up to a 100k target for a day or two and then come back down. That's pretty likely with or not unlikely with some of the wicks that were formed before. So yeah, those are just something to look at here. Just something to keep in mind. That looks kind of weird. But yeah, it's a good look at Bitcoin here. We'll look at Ethereum too. So Ethereum's been rebounding really well. I mean, that structure on the weekly on Ethereum actually looks really good. So that's promising for the market overall. I like the way this looks. I like the room that it has. So, Ethereum does look good. I agree with Raul Paul there. Let's see what it can do. I don't know if it's going to keep going up or down, but this is a big channel that Ethereum sort of plays in. And, I don't want to say the channel itself is undeniable, but it's fairly undeniable from a channel perspective. It's playing, I don't like how it does that. Logarithmic channels are tougher. You can't just drag them around. It tries to be smart, but you can see like where this is the middle, this is the top, this is the bottom. It's not perfect, but it's definitely doing something like this. And this is 25 grand up here next year. So we'll see what happens with Ethereum. Again, one of two things will happen. It'll either go like this or it'll either go like this. Pretty fair. Just trying to avoid making predictions during this time, right? I think everybody who's been investing is doing well, and it's on your own to sort of just make sure you're taking profits and doing the right thing there. Solana still holding well up here. I don't know if it's going to run again or not. We talked about VeChain. VeChain not doing so well. We'll see what happens. VThor, it's gas token doing even worse, but maybe it'll hook up, maybe it'll come back down. I just don't know. I'm starting to get concerned about VeChain in general if it comes down here with the way it works, even though VThor is it gets created, right? And so we can talk about that on a different show. It's not a set amount, but it does get burned a lot as well. So as the transaction volume increases, hopefully one day VThor, skyrockets from that. So that's the whole point of VThor's and its benefit as the gas token there. Anything else here? Matic still doing really well. The Matic chart's been looking good. It says we don't care about Bitcoin going down. Polygon Matic looks really good. And it's scarce, right? So, we'll see what happens with it. I think it could be poised to go up super high. Looks really good. All right, what else? And then H-bar, Hedera. Bounced well. I haven't touched this chart in a long time, so you can see what it kind of did there off the move on Saturday. Bounced sort of right off that area. Here's this old area that we had down here. Probably have a new one somewhere up here. So yeah, let's a good look at Hedera. I think it could keep going, right? See some good momentum. Might be in a channel, something like this now. If it drops down low, obviously it's got a little bit of free falling to do. All right, so let's talk about Terra Luna. Let's move on from that. So Terra Luna is a USD project. I'm actually going to read this article first. So Terra is a block. This is a fortune.com article. What is Terra? Your guide to the hot cryptocurrency. So Terra is a blockchain project developed by Terraform Labs that powers the startup cryptocurrencies and financial apps. These cryptocurrencies include the Terra US dollar, USD, that is pegged to the US dollar through an algorithm. Terra is a stablecoin that is intended to reduce the volatility endemic to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Some stablecoins like Tether are pegged to more conventional currencies like the US dollar through cash and cash equivalents, as opposed to an algorithm and associated reserve token. So, Terra is minting UST tokens. A percentage of another digital token reserve asset, Luna, is burned. If the demand for UST rises with more people using the currency, more Luna will automatically be burned and diverted to a community pool. That balancing act is supposed to help stabilize the price to a degree. So Luna directly benefits from the economic growth of the Terra economy, and it suffers from the contractions of the Terra coin. Each time someone buys something like an ice cream using US Terra, that transaction fee, similar to a credit card transaction, generates a fee, That fee is then distributed to people who own Luna tokens, similar to a stock dividend. So South Korean firm Terraform Labs is who runs it. Relies on outside funding to operate. So that's a little bit about Terra. A long way to go to catch up to bigger cryptocurrency projects like Ethereum. I don't think they're intended to be the same thing. That's the problem. Ethereum is an open source internet with a gas problem, and there's a lot of other blockchains that are mimicking its capabilities and even beating it. It's just a matter of popularity. With that being said, there's a sense of saturation as well. That's why there's a lot of fear with Ethereum. There's not a lot of utility on Ethereum. Same with some of the stuff that's happening on the XRPL right now. There's just people pumping coins out there to dump them. And that's where talk about needing regulations. That's where we need it the most, is on these crowded blockchains. So I appreciate the ones that are trying to come up with these solutions to that. In my head, though, the solutions are, what am I trying to think of here? Wouldn't you think the most efficient systems in the world would already think that way? Like, it's just a big miss. And I don't understand why we focus on it and why Ethereum is at the prices it is sometimes, but that's just my opinion on all of that, really. So here's Terra's website, terra.money. Nice. Programmable money for the programmable money for the internet. Spend, save, and stake like never before. The Terra is a blockchain protocol developing a suite of algorithmic decentralized stablecoins which underpin a thriving ecosystem that brings DeFi to the masses. The mission statements are always fun. So they have that decentralized stablecoin UST. They have smart contracts, thriving cross-chain DeFi environments, and then they're built on the Cosmos and SDK Tendermint consensus. I don't really know anything about that. Can't click it either. Watch the Terra documentary about the decentralized money at the heart of an open financial system. All right.
Creating a decentralized form of money on which you can build an entirely new type of permissionless financial ecosystem is the holy grail of cryptocurrency. And that's exactly what Terra does. I first got into crypto in late 2016. What was the most interesting to me was that in an industry that calls itself the cryptocurrency industry, there was literally nobody working on creating a better form of money. People just took for granted that Bitcoin was peer-to-peer electronic cash, Ethereum was programmable money, and they never questioned whether these assets were actually useful as money. I started to think about what is a type of cryptocurrency that would actually be usable in the real world? Terra creates a decentralized money, which is easier to spend, more attractive to hold and invest than other types of fiat money or Bitcoin. One of the biggest problems that we're witnessing across the world is massive inflation. We're seeing 5% inflation in the developed world, but at the same time, the yields that people are getting in commercial savings accounts is 0.05%. By having a permissionless form of money and a permissionless financial system built on top of it, you can start to give people real yield that doesn't erode the value of your household savings.
There are 3 main apps or protocols in the Terra ecosystem.
So I'm not going to watch the rest of it. That's a little teaser. You guys go watch the rest of that yourselves. But I think I really appreciate, the background there. It's like I'm trying to do something, solve something here. So with Terra Assets supporting leading blockchains. So here's some of the blockchains that they're supporting here. So yeah, you can build apps on Terra and protocols. So they're really trying to open up to the world here and become a stable use for the future. Now, is Terra and Luna gonna go? Is Luna gonna go up forever? I don't know, but I don't know enough about it yet. But it has, this chart has phenomenal structure. I will say that this chart is, certainly has great structure. I think it's in an ascending channel without a doubt. I don't know how perfect it is, but it's something like that. And if it comes down here, you should consider buying some, probably, right? Buy some lows. It's certainly doing better than some of the assets I've been holding. So, that's great to see. So yeah, this is the Luna chart again, sorry. And then here's some of the docs. So here's where you can read about it a little bit. So Terra is the stablecoin that tracks the price of fiat currencies. Users mint new Terra by burning Luna. Stablecoins are named for their fiat counterparts. For example, the base Terra stablecoin tracks the price of IMS FSDR and named Terra SDR or SDT. Other stablecoin denominations include Terra USD or UST and Terra KRW or KRT. All Terra denominations exist in the same pool. And then Luna, the Terra's protocol's native staking token that absorbs the price volatility of Terra. Luna is used for governance and mining. Users stake Luna to validators who record and verify transactions on the blockchain in exchange for rewards from the transaction fees. The more Terra is used, the more Luna is worth. So here's a little bit more about the Terra protocol. Yeah, interesting stuff here. Let's actually go to CoinMarketCap and look up where you can buy Luna in case you're interested in that. So let's go to markets here. So Binance has it. KuCoin. It's like Binance and KuCoin are the most popular. Bittrex. Yeah, so those are good places to buy. See if there's anybody else. Oh, I saw BitTrue down there. It's on BitTrue. Yeah. So available for anybody really watching this show, whether you're in Europe, here, BKEX. I used BKEX one time. Interesting exchange. Better if you know Chinese or Mandarin or whichever one they're operating off of. So Terra Luna, here's another one. Talking about how Tether and others are not directly pegged are pegged directly to the US dollar without real backing. So Terra officially launched in April 2019 that uses fiat pegged stablecoins to power stable price global payment systems. So yeah, more information on Terra here. So I found Terra pretty interesting. It's obviously doing well in the market, or the Luna token is, and I think it could very well go higher. It has a healthy track. The monthly RSI is high, so I would expect a retracement at some point. And when that happens, we can certainly buy some more. So yeah, that's a little bit on Luna there. I wanted to also talk about how the Staples Center is coming down today. So sometimes it's good to see articles like this when, you know, the prices are going down, right? But Staples Center is getting removed today for the crypto.com.
Center is starting to come down to make way for crypto. Hard not to call it Staples. Believed to be the richest naming rights deal in sports history. It's going to be hard not to call it Staples.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
how many times will you be going there in the very near future where you say to your friend,
Staples, yeah.
meet us at Staples?
Yeah.
It's going to take a minute. Just
Not
bear with
anymore.
yourself.
You're not going to say that anymore. Then here's an article I found on just from CoinDesk this evening on where Bitcoin's headed.
Meantime, LA County is announcing its
Whoa,
second
whoa,
Omicron
whoa,
case.
whoa, whoa. No, they did not. And yeah, it's really right at 200-day support. There's really not much to say. If you're worried about where it's going, I think you're over leveraged. I think or you're buying bad assets. If you bought Shiba Inu and you're worried about your bags there, I would be too. You know, anybody who asks me about it, my first statement is it's a shit coin. So, you know, it certainly is curling well. These are the two first price targets I had for it. It didn't really do much better than that. I could have moved them on down. But yeah, congrats to everybody who sold up here. We did a good job selling Shiba. I wish I did a good job selling other assets like I did with Shiba. But yeah, we live and we learn from that. And, you know, as this market keeps going higher, we'll have more opportunities to take profits and more opportunities to buy lower. So thanks everybody who's been joining. You know, join our Telegram chat. You know, if you want to, you know, the best thing about Constant Collab is there's a lot of people helping each other, and that's the nice part. But that only comes with people coming in, sharing their opinions on different assets, sharing their background on what they know about them, and, you know, helping each other sort of learn different things, right? So if you're interested in any of that, definitely join our Telegram chat. And thank you all for checking out this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like this Terra Luna, if you're holding Terra Luna, definitely let us know in the comments. So thanks everybody for joining again, and we'll catch you next time on Crypto After Dark.